Microsoft launched something called as Recall AI, right? Which is kind of, if I say, for lack of better word, is like your personal assistant, right, on your Windows laptops, right? What does Recall AI do? Is it captures your complete history, complete, logs of your user interactions, right? And builds on top of it, right? Becomes more intelligent and helps you across your tasks within your, on your Windows desktops or Windows machines, right? So let's say probably, you opened up an email, you responded to an email, you created a
So that's
PowerPoint,
so
right?
so isn't
Visited
this
certain websites, etc.
isn't this directly competing with the Rewind tool that Dan Siroker launched a few months back?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, I mean, for lack of better word, yes, directly competing, yes. But
Correct, because
one
I
thing,
remember a tweet that was made by Dan where yeah, I remember now. I can correlate. So that is recall, which is it's like memory, right?
exactly,
Like
ex-
right, okay, whatever you see, whatever you operate on your system, it kind of stood. Okay, got it. Okay.
exactly, right? But here's the catch, right, Shiva? Well, obviously they claim that everything is stored locally in your laptop, right? It's not sent to the cloud for training the model and so on and so forth, right? But what people have, highlighted primarily from the recalls data capture or historical capture piece. While again, just on a side note, it doesn't capture any of your incognito. You still have that control that private browsing, incognito browsing, etc. Will still be kept out of this recordings, right? But one thing that they've really not, which they're now corrected by the way, is that it's enabled by default, right? So
Hmm.
you don't have, like today, if I probably install an updated Windows version, it will be enabled by default, and I might not really know about it, right?
Yeah.
So that's one
Yeah.
definitely data security breach that they've corrected now. But most importantly, right, the use case or where probably it's really coming out as a concern for users is that there's at no point, right, Microsoft has taken consent for capturing user data, right? Even if it's been
Wow.
stored, and Microsoft
No,
defense
no,
is
no, but I think no, but I think they do that at the very beginning, isn't it? When you install their product, when you install their
so.
OS for the very first time, don't they do it at that level, at that moment?
So, so it's again, right, Shiva, you've got like millions of words in that contract, and it's enabled
Yeah.
by default. It never asks you what do you want to enable, right? So
I
it
mean, in
actually is
Microsoft's defense,
violating the
in
user
Microsoft's
principle here.
no, but in Microsoft's defense, they have this. They could defend.
By the way, that's how Slack does it, right? If you go and look at Slack's agreement or probably user terms and conditions, it states that your data is being captured. If you don't want it captured, opt out on our website. Right?
Wow.
I mean, I was reading it. I was really appalled by the way they're capturing data, right? But that's what's happening. They've now corrected it, right, after this massive, issue across. But
And
while probably it might,
and then we could and then we crib about OpenAI using all our data to train, right? Like we have, I mean, our data is already out there with almost everyone. Okay.
correct. But I think this is where, and I was attending a conference with Amazon, right? And Amazon's Code Whisperer, which is equivalent to Copilot, has been converted into Q, right? And I was actually attending a conference that was speaking about Q. And this is how the monetization has started, right? So what
Hmm.
Q now says is Q for developers, which is for free. You
Hmm.
continue to use it, but your data would be used for training the model. If you don't want your
Hmm.
data to be used for training, then you buy the business licenses. Q for business.
Makes sense.
Right? So even that's what even ChatGPT, Enterprise, etc. say, right? That your data, once you purchase, let's say, license, etc., will not be used, right? So I think honestly, this will become a monetization strategy as well for organization. But coming back to Microsoft, so this is a major, flaw that they had, which they never checked, and this resulted in a huge, conspiracy in the whole recall feature, right? So they had to probably withdraw this now, probably user consent. So they had to change that whole strategy, right? So a big flaw again, but let's see how this actually changes their overall strategy.